Be honest with you guys, man, and this one is a re-recording that I had to redo because for some reason last night it was in slow mo, and I want you guys to hear this clearly about my spiritual gift. I have certain moments in my life that I can remember that my parents told me about. It was one time in my life where my mother's mother had excuse me, had a headache, and they say I touched her head, and I took it away from her, and she said she didn't have it anymore. Then there was one time when I was a little kid, I had a headache, and it wouldn't go away no matter what I did, and it got real intense in one moment, and then when it got intense, the microwave where I was staying with my grandmother then, the microwave cut on. My parents tried to unplug it. It wouldn't turn off until my headache went away. That's how I knew I was partly special. Then I'm gonna tell you about the most tragic two times of being a spiritualist that I wish I had never knew about. One was my grandmother that ended up staying right behind me where my brother stays now. But anyway, long story short, it was like 2016, 2013, 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. But anyway, me and my brother were playing 2K. My grandmother was staying behind us and she was having a little medical issue. We thought she would recover and be fine. But anyway, to make a long story short, she had came over to see us or see me because I was playing my video game. And I never will forget this. She looked in the door, she stood in the door, she told me she loved me, and I seen her crying. And I asked her, Grandma, you okay? She said, Yeah, baby, I'm fine. It's just my allergies. Then she looked at me, she told me she loved me, and she turned around and she walked back home. And I was like, okay, that was weird. But I didn't really think no more of it. Then that next day, around about 12 to 1 o'clock, I got this real intense feeling in my gut. It got real intense. Then all of a sudden, it dissipated. And me and my brother were playing 2K. He looked at me, he said, something wrong with you, I can tell. I said, I just feel something, bro. I don't know what it is, but I felt something get real intense. Then it burst away. I said, you know how I get them feelings? 'Cause they used to make jokes about it when I was younger. We kind of laughed it off, and I ain't think no more about it. Well, fast forward a little time. My mom was working at Domino's. Back then, she used to get off at 5 o'clock. And she made a joke with my dad saying he need to go over there and check on his mama because that's how they joke. And he went over there and he knocked on the door. She didn't come to the door. He ended up breaking in, having to break in. And it turns out she had a heart attack while she was on the couch, and that's how she ended up passing away. And I felt the exact moment she passed away. That moment from 12 to 1 when I felt that was her spirit leaving her body. And I felt her leave and I didn't realize it. Then a couple of months before that, I had a dream of an ambulance pulling up to her house and they didn't have the lights on and they put her in the gurney, put her on the gurney and put her in the back, but they didn't have the lights on and she wasn't moving and I knew what that meant. Then when the ambulance pulled up, it it pulled up in the exact spot I envisioned it with no lights on. And I knew what that meant. And it's like once my parents came over there and told me, I knew my gift was real. I knew what I was talking about. Then I'm gonna get to the saddest one. And I still hate talking about this one to this day, but it happened so I gotta talk about it. My other grandmother ended up having a lung issue because she smoked a little bit. She ended up having a lung issue and she ended up having to take Nephilim for her lung medication, emphysema. And she really wasn't happy taking it, but she tried to take it because she wanted to stay around for us. And the day before, my brother and his girlfriend went over there and stayed with her, and they said she just kept asking for my mother and me to come over there. We came over there the day before because she was having health issues, so we was kind of taking turns watching her. Everybody in the house was just, everybody in the family was taking turns. So we came over there. She said, I want to go to the bank. I got some stuff to do. Y'all take me to the bank. So we took her to the bank. Then on the way back, she said, I want to ride the long way because I just do, and it's a beautiful ride. So we took the long way back to the house. We took our time, but the whole time she was talking, I heard the word unalive, 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 unalive. She going unalive, 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 and it kept playing back in my head. And I was like, that's weird, but I tried to ignore it. I didn't think nothing of it. To make a long story short, when we got back to the house, we all ate. She told me goodbye, and she walked around the chair. She looked at me, she blew me a kiss, and she went in her room. And little did we know that she took some medicine called Nephilim. The medicine was prescribed by a doctor, which was too strong for her, but she didn't want to admit it. She wanted to take it because she felt like it would make her better, but it was too strong for her body, and she knew it. I believe she had made up in her mind that that's just the way she wanted to go. But anyway, she took 2 doses of it, and and the moment I was laying in the back room, I never will forget. I was laying in the back room watching TV, and I heard it, and I felt it the moment she dropped. And in that room, if they hadn't replaced the TV, on that TV, like from the moment she fell to now, the sound on that TV would not work. And that was just a message from me to me from God that she let me know she was leaving. And from now to anybody else use that room, that TV sound won't work from that day. I think that was just her way of letting me know she moved on. That was her way of telling me bye. And I felt it. I heard the word unalive a lot. And that's just another example of the spiritual gift that I have and how it tells me things that I didn't want to know. It's like I knew from the moment she hit the ground she was gone because I kept hearing the word unalive that day. I was hoping, I was praying with everything in me that I was wrong, but sadly I wasn't. Just like with my other grandmother, I was hoping with everything in me I was wrong, but sadly I wasn't. And the toughest part about it is I had to sit there and pretend that I hope she be okay, knowing the whole time what was really gonna happen. And that's the part I is tough about having a gift when you know somebody you love is not gonna make it. How do you better tell your family something like that? I couldn't do it, so I had to hope against hope that I was wrong. I had to hope against hope that I got the wrong message or I got the wrong vision or I got the wrong spiritual inkling, but it was never wrong. And I had to suffer through that for a lot of years without telling my family about it because I don't know how to tell somebody things like that. Like, that's the downside of having spiritual gifts when you have certain messages like that that you have to deliver or you don't want to deliver. So that's why I didn't share my gifts a lot of times because whenever I was associated with it, it would bring negative things out of me like that. And that would make me uncomfortable. So I would just hold the lot in and I wouldn't share it. But that's just a little bit of the negative side of having a spiritual gift. Moments like that, those are the moments I don't like. Moments where I have to deal with negative things like that. And I have to feel things and I don't want to talk about it or say it because I don't want to depress nobody around me, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. And some of the things I go through with my spiritual gift that I hadn't heard nobody else talk about, that I wanted to be honest about that I went through personally, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, though, from my personal spiritual experience.